Hello, my friends. Welcome to Digging for Gold. I'm Dan Goldberg, your host. This is episode 15. You can find us on YouTube at Dan G, the number 4, the letter U, the number 2. You can find us on Spotify at Digging for Gold. And you can find us on Instagram at Digging for Gold 2. In the meantime, episode 15 is a very special episode because we have someone with a terrific story. This is Tom Heiler, Heiler Painting. And Tom and I met through a mutual friend, and I was so impressed. Look at this. There's an incoming call on your phone, which is on also your wrist. This is like Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
So, some of you may be too young to remember.
I know Dick Tracy.
Yeah, he used to. That was the whole thing with the Dick Tracy phone on your wrist. But anyway, getting back to
Warren
Tom.
Beatty, right?
What?
Warren
Beatty.
Yeah.
He was Dick Tracy. You're right. Look at this. Let's just talk movies. No,
right.
Here we go. This is a great story and an inspirational story for everyone watching and listening. Okay, Tom Heiler Painting. It's Heiler Painting, but Tom Heiler started with nothing.
Right.
He was just himself. A painter in houses, correct?
Yeah.
Painter of houses and in houses.
Yep.
Okay.
Interior and exterior residential painting.
And then what happened? How did this grow into this really large business?
I guess I'll start in the beginning. So I grew up in southwest section of Philadelphia. My father, lifelong painter. I would paint on the weekends with him throughout high school. And when I went to college, I went to Temple. And I joined this internship where I was able to manage like a little small painting company. Gave me the tools and the responsibility to learn a little bit about entrepreneurship. It's a great internship program. When I graduated from Temple, I interviewed at a couple different companies, sales jobs, and I was just like, this is not for me. And my dad had just been laid off from his job because he wasn't like a sole proprietor, like or a business owner. But I said, Dad, I can sell you some paint jobs to get through the winter, so you can not worry about it because the industry gets slow during the holiday season, and it's kind of depressing. And I said that I could sell you some paint jobs, and he never wanted to get involved in the business. He just wanted to paint. So he was the first painter that I had. And then
Wow.
I was getting the business by knocking on doors and hit up one street, got like 7 jobs from it. I took their deposit before I even had an official company, and I used that to put it back into the business to buy the paint because they trusted me, and I was straight up with them and told them where we were at in the business and why they should hire me. But then it just kind of naturally grown. I didn't get a van, and we were running out of everything out of a Mazda Miata. Imagine putting a 28-foot ladder on top of a Mazda Miata and clients trusting you.
How did you do that? How'd you turn corners? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Not safely.
Yeah.
Or hoping that we are safe.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of naturally grew. And I didn't know where I was going to take it. I realized early on, like fortunately enough, I was never in the business where I was having to paint. I was cleaning up a lot of jobs and like doing little things here and there, but I knew kind of the business concepts that I got from Temple that like, hey, you're not going to really grow the company if you're actually have the brush in your hand the entire time.
So you got to work on the company, not in the
work
company.
in the business. Yeah. You still have to work as you hit different levels,
Right.
There's different things you have to work in the business.
Right.
But that first level, it's like, yeah, you can't grow if you're the one painting all the time.
Correct. You start doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you work in the business, but after a while you work on the business because other people are in the business.
100%.
Yeah.
And you have to trust people to do their job, right? Because I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, painters may not grow or entrepreneurs may not grow because it's like, oh, well, I can't trust this person to do the job because I can do it better than them. And I think you can't expect everyone to do it as well as you. Like, I think 80% of what you can do is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to trust them because everybody wants to do a good job, right? No one wants to come to work and say, I'm going to suck today.
Right.
So
Let's
you trust
hope.
people
Let's
to do
hope.
a good job.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're not in a job that they enjoy,
That's
right?
true.
And they like to work for a company that's going to let them grow as people.
Absolutely.
And believe it or not, people actually want to do a good job. And if you trust them and you empower them to do a good job, they take it and run with it. So we've grown by 30% year over year. um, we took it to the next level. In my third year in business, I was 25 years old, living the best life, making good money for a 25-year-old. We were doing like $400K in revenue, and I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Oh,
so
geez.
Out of nowhere, I had a seizure. We were at I was like at this barbecue, 25 years old on Memorial Day. I had a seizure. 2 days later, I got diagnosed with stage 4 testicular cancer that spread to the brain, morphed into. I had 4 brain tumors, 8 in my lungs, and so that was like that kind of sidelined everything. And fortunately, I had at that time someone that I can rely on to kind of step in and help out and run the business. I gave him some sweat equity to help keep everything together, but I was still working all throughout. So it was a 2-year battle. I had 24 cycles of chemo, 7 surgeries, 2 brain surgeries. So it was a tough battle, but I would say what kept me alive was being able to work for myself. Because I never looked at treatment as or the chemotherapy or being in the hospital. It was never like, woe is me. It was more like, this is a pain in my ass to deal with this because I got a business to run here, right? So I was running it. So over that 2-year span, we tripled the business. We were at 400K, and then we grew to 1.2 million over 2 years. And I think it was because I was forced to delegate. There was no option. You had to trust people to do their job. And then when I got healthy, I was like, this is like, I'm onto something here. And at that point, we had around 8 employees, and it just naturally grown year over year. A lot of learning experiences on the way, a lot of cultural shifts. Lost a business partner that I had. I mean, he's alive, but it was just kind of a nasty split. But all along the journey, and now we are going to do around 10 million in revenue this year, about 70 employees, and it's fun. I treat it. Business to me is a game, right? I mean, it's the toughest
exactly
game. It could be the most fun game because one, I don't have to retire, right? It's not like like my body wears. But I always use football analogies. I always use sports analogies in business because it's super similar. I think most sports teams are ran better than businesses. So
yeah,
I try to use a lot of those analogies and examples.
I would always say business is a game.
Yeah.
To your point.
The great game of business.
A great game. And in some cases, this may sound weird, it's like war.
Yeah.
You are trying to outflank your competition, your opponent. I won't say the enemy, but you can say the other team. All right. So it's like sports.
So who would you consider the other team? Like the competitors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started, there was a company that had 5 stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, boy, I'd like to be bigger than them. And within, 2.5 years, I was bigger than them. And I went, wait a minute, I thought they were so big. And now I'm bigger than them. So
yeah.
It was that, and then you just go. You know the way it is.
Yeah.
You just go.
So I look at my competitors. So I have a lot of friendly competitors. And I think that if I can help them somehow, it helps the industry. So my enemy are the people that really hurt the brand of contractors. Because if you think about home service, there's a lot of horror stories. People are afraid to get their house painted because of experiences that they heard of,
right?
Or they don't know. So if I feel like I can raise the people around me, then people will be more open to painting. And maybe
it's true.
So but that's like different industries have different like focuses, but I think my enemy is the reputation that house painters get per se, but yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friendly competitors, people that aren't as friendly with me, but we can cooperate, right? There's plenty of houses to paint. There's not a.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people that were working for me, as we were talking about before we were recording the show, that left and started their own optical companies, optical stores, and people would say, "Aren't you angry?" I said, "No, I'm not angry because I left someone to start mine. I mean, it's America. You can do that." And he's not opening down the street from me, and he's still a friend, and I wish him well. And that's basically what you're saying. I mean, if you keep
Yeah,
that.
My why per se is like to inspire entrepreneurship, is to inspire people to achieve things that they didn't think that they could achieve, because there's things that I've achieved that I didn't think that I can achieve. And all it is by looking to someone else and say, okay, if they have achieved it, why can't I achieve it? And if I can have someone else that might be look at me and say, if he achieved it, why can't I?
Mhm.
Like, and I think there's an expectation of what an entrepreneur looks like and what an entrepreneur is like, and I realized early on that an entrepreneur is just authenticity, right? Like, I always picture a guy that wears I don't know, blazer and,
Right.
just think about a tech entrepreneur. It's
Right.
not how it is. Every entrepreneur is different. You just have to be authentic and
Absolutely.
and people will follow whoever fits your culture.
Yeah, and
Every
you have to
culture
be
is different.
dedicated to it, and you have
Yeah.
to keep your word. One of my mantras is, your word is something that when you keep it, when you give it, rather, your word is something that when you give it, you keep it.
Yeah.
And if I have people that are like that, I'll always be loyal to them.
Yeah.
And if they're not like that, then I know, like,
Mhm.
don't delegate to them, because they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. That's just it.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of our core values, one is integrity, right? You have to do the right thing when no one's watching. And that's what I was saying, is you have to empower people. You have to trust them to do their job. But once you lose that trust, it's like done. But
Yes.
because there's going to be people that, and that's where it's tough. Like, you think about the humanity of it, is they're not necessarily bad people. I just think maybe for the position that they were in or for the company that they were in, they didn't act with integrity. Like, and I think in the right circumstance, everyone, like, I believe the best in people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe just the circumstance in that situation, they didn't act with integrity. But yeah, I mean, that's our top priority, core value. And there's someone that unfortunately we've agreed as a leadership team to let go because of integrity.
Mhm.
Can't trust them to do their job, and it's like, it's so hard to get that trust back. And I'm like, wow, I really like this person. I see it, but then even my leadership team was like, you have to trust other people to make a decision for you as well. It's like, they're like, no, Tom, this person has to go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? You're right, deep in my heart. I don't want to. I fall in love with people too much, but they're right. We have to let this person go because the loss of trust is there.
It's tough. I mean, all the people that I've had, and I've said this many times before, I must have had, I don't know, close to 1,000 people working
Wow.
for me in my businesses over time, in different businesses. I think I actually only fired directly 2 of them.
Okay.
Now, there may have been regional managers, district managers that called me and said, I have to get rid of this person.
Yeah.
But, and it was because I lost trust in them.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't trustworthy. Their integrity
Yeah.
was not there, and I could be empathetic to their reasons, but
Yeah, so your hiring
Yeah.
process must have been pretty good to have that, like,
yeah, I mean, most people at the very beginning had to work with me for 6 months.
okay.
I had to get to know them.
Yeah.
And once I got to know them, then they could go out on their
Got
own.
it.
Or work with me and be a district manager or regional.
Yeah.
Or move to Chicago or Boston or whatever.
Oh, interesting. So you have that like six month onboarding process.
Yeah. It was like that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, there were other people that I knew of or knew for years anyway, or they were friends or people that I had worked with in the past. They knew my philosophy, they knew my values, and therefore the onboarding was not as long,
Got it.
So then I
Yeah.
could say, okay, go find a place in Boston, or go find a place in Miami, whatever it is. But it's, your process is correct, what you did.
Yeah.
From my estimation.
So what? Yeah, our process it changes, and your vision kind of change as you get bigger, as you learn things. But what I've identified is like a super key role. It takes about 9 months to officially onboard someone, and when I say that, the first 90 days is for them to understand what the heck they're doing.
Right.
Right. The second 90 days is for them to start doing it, right? And then we learn from our mistakes. They probably fall on their face at that point, but you have to have the trust that they're going to get back. And then
Right.
the third 90 days, the last 90 days of that 9-month period is to execute, right? And you should be able to get to the point where you're executing pretty well in the job. Now, I think there's different roles, like a CEO might be longer than that, but management level positions, I've realized it takes around 9 months. So you have to be patient with people, which I was not early on.
Yeah. It's a learning process,
Yeah.
even for the CEO, even for the
Yeah.
founder and everything. But what you've done now, your gift to entrepreneurs, the organization you're involved with.
Mhm.
You've started your company from nothing.
Yeah.
You've built it up. You had your problems, your tragedies, and so forth, and you went through that. You made it through that. Your cancer diagnosis and treatment. You built this company. It's now a substantial company, and now you're helping other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What is it? What's the method? What's the organization?
Yeah, so so a couple different ways. One is I'm a part of the Entrepreneurs Organization in Philadelphia. It's a global organization, but they have a Philadelphia chapter. I sit on the board for the Global Student Entrepreneurship Awards,
Okay.
which helps students, basically gives them, it's a business plan competition where they get to pitch to other entrepreneurs and be a part of the local entrepreneurship community. It's essentially Shark Tank for students.
Okay.
Right, but they get to travel the world. They get funding, like if they win. They get exposed to leadership trainings and get to build these relationships with these local entrepreneurs where they can learn. Because how I've grown is by joining an entrepreneurship or like an organization like EO Entrepreneurship Organization, because I'm able to extend that network.
Right.
And that's where I was able to see okay, if this person can do it, I can do it. But without that exposure, I'm never going to see that person that I can grow to be. So
Right.
that was huge. That was helpful to me, is to really see what is out there and expose my eyes. And even Temple, per se. I grew up in Southwest Philadelphia, where there was a 2-block radius that we did not leave because you don't know those people 2 blocks away.
Right.
Imagine that little bubble and going to Temple where you're meeting people from all across the world, Rome, Japan, and I was blinded by it. And and the same thing when I went to EO. It was, wow, there's all these other entrepreneurs. We're all dealing with the same issues, different industries.
And it leads to you growing your company.
Yeah.
I mean, you now have connections, even from a customer standpoint.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is you're teaching people, you're mentoring people, you're helping people grow in a way that they may not have done or known about.
100%.
I met you through somebody in that organization.
Yeah. Awesome organization.
Yeah.
And you can just lean on anyone, and we have a group chat of 120 people. You have an ask, and you got 120 people that are super successful, ready to help you. And
one of the things, and I wonder if you ran into this, and you can, extrapolate from what I'm saying, is that you hire someone and you expect them to do the job. But when they do the job and then come up with new ideas of how to expand that job, how to bring new things to it, okay, that you may not have thought of or wasn't aware of, that's the cherry on top.
100%. And that's the person that you want to invest in that has the entrepreneurial mindset.
Correct.
And that's the person that you want to make sure that you don't leave, or if they do leave, you're investing enough into them to know that they're in a better place off in their life, right?
Yes, and most companies, I teach entrepreneurship as well, and wrote a textbook on it. An entrepreneur is just an entrepreneur within a company.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will assume, I know that that's how my company grew. Okay. From listening to my employees and their ideas, I would think that that's applicable to your company.
100%. And I think so. I'm the big idea guy.
Right.
Like, and I think sometimes I have this guilt of like, okay, we have this big problem and I need to fix it with my idea. But then I realize I have all these other smart people and I push to them who has a good idea. And there's certain people that ideas give energy to. There's other people that I'm not the idea guy. You
Right.
tell me where to go and I'll do it.
Of course.
But the personality type, there are idea people, the dreamers, and you have to lean on them like to be creative. So my marketing person, Jamie, she has a lot of good ideas. Even the painters that have different ideas on how on how we can become more efficient. So if you're stomping out ideas, like, you're never going to grow, and they're never going to grow.
Exactly.
And their voice is never going to be heard.
And they'll make mistakes, and you'll make mistakes,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I make a ton of mistakes.
Me too.
Yeah, like a ton
Everybody
of mistakes.
does.
But I encourage them, and I push it. It's like, listen, it's okay if you make a mistake. I think the problem is people are afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I've never done this before. This is the first time that I've ever grew to 71 people. This is the first time that I've ever hired this particular role. I've built up departments. I've never done it before. So like, neither of you, right?
Right.
It's okay. Like, we're going to learn through it together. And I'm going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, but you can't be afraid to make a mistake because
Right.
that's how you learn.
I totally agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
everything is about mistakes. Failure leads to success if you persevere.
Yeah.
Perseverance furthers, as the
Yep.
saying goes. And
Grit.
yeah, it's grit. And it's the same way whether you're a professor, hopefully you've done a lot of the things you're teaching about,
Yeah.
or running a podcast,
Yeah.
or having a robotics company.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to do things that will show you what the future could look like if you just did it this way
Yeah.
instead of continuing this way. Like in this podcast, there's a producer who tells me what to do, right? And an editor who
Mhm.
helps me a lot, okay? And comes up with ideas, both of them.
Yeah.
And I go, I never thought of that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Let's do it. The worst that can happen is it doesn't work.
Yeah. And it's great because it shifts your vision, like a lot of times, at least for me, right?
Mhm.
It's like when you have a good idea and you see that it works, it may shift the trajectory of where you're going as an organization. And I used to really beat myself up about, okay, I have to have a clear vision, but visions change, right? And it's like the way that you've done things and what you're going after, your target market, like per se, right? Who you're going
Right.
after. We want to grow to all these different areas. And then we say, you know what? No, wait, we can really cut all these things out. That's a huge different change in your vision, and say, we're no longer going to expand to these areas, or we're no longer going to market in these zip codes. We're no longer going to service this area because we realize that it's not our target market.
Right.
Or we have to say, okay, we're going to lean into commercial or partnerships, and we say that doesn't work, so we're going to go back. So the vision changes.
All the time.
Yeah,
Every
but
business.
it changes because you fail and succeed.
Yeah.
And you say, I
So-
want to go down that route.
When you work with these other entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
do you do sessions with them?
Yeah, so you're talking about like EO?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do monthly forums where
Okay.
we get into a room with 7 other entrepreneurs,
Okay.
and these are people that we meet with. It's a very close, a tight-knit group, and we talk about our business problems and our personal problems. And it's almost like a board of directors that we help each other with, and there's different topics that you present on, because business and personal always overlap when you're an
Always.
entrepreneur, because it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. So a lot of times your personal issues are affecting your business issues, and your business issues are affecting your personal life. So it's
100%.
like, and I would say the beauty of that forum is it's not around how to learn, it's to get clarity on our issues and get clear on what our problems are. Because when you have clarity, it's very easy to find the solution, because we're all smart.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I don't like when people say, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. Just help me figure out what the problem is, and then I'll make the decision. And that's the beauty of EO is it's not people telling you this is what I recommend you should do, because once I do that and it doesn't work, I'm like, well, I'm not going to take your advice anymore.
Exactly.
So it's more like, well, this is the problem that I've had that's similar to this, and I say, you know what, that probably is the right issue.
Right.
We'll solve the problems ourselves. It's just a matter of finding out what the root of the problem is.
Always.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in my own life as an entrepreneur. I mean, most of my life, I am a professor, and I do research and stuff like that. But in my heart and my soul, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And even in the academic realm, within your course material, you have to be innovative to some degree, and you have to make sure that the students are invested in it and want to be there, okay? That they're learning.
You have to be a professor if you're going to be an entrepreneur to scale, because you have to have a curriculum, you have to have trainings, you have to have all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have become a professor with workshops. I do weekly workshops with my team, and I'm on the whiteboard. I'm literally teaching specific things like time management. There's no difference.
There is no difference, and because as you're saying that, I'm remembering years ago when I would sit with my team and we'd have meetings, and I would tell them what we have to do. So it's being a professor, okay? Knowing that and understanding that, an entrepreneur, when you are in that position, you don't have, and people have to understand this, all entrepreneurs are not 9 to 5 people. It can be, you can be 9 to 5 and can shut it off, but usually it's difficult because they're always thinking about how to build their business and so forth. And especially at the beginning, when you're so wrapped up in the business because it's your baby, that you come home and you go, listen, I just got to check this one thing. I just have an idea, and I just have to check on this.
I'm responding to this one email.
Yeah.
Right.
And you get up at night, and you go, wait, I just thought of something. Let me write it down.
Yeah. I use Google Tasks, and I have ideas. On my phone, I have a whole section I had 150 ideas. What I used to do was implement it to my team every time I had one, but I realized is that makes everyone go crazy because we can't change everything every day.
Right.
But but the one thing you said about balance of like the 9 to 5, what I've come to my own realization is like, it's 24/7, but that's okay. It's just a matter of, are you doing what gives you energy, or are you doing things that drain energy? And that's my dream, is like, if I'm doing everything that gives me energy, like stuff like this gives me energy, right?
I get it.
Managing people, or like, I don't know, typing a process up, that drains my energy, right? So if you're doing the things that give you energy, you're never like, you're not thinking that it's work. And it's never like, oh, I got to go to work today. So my dream or my goal is I don't think you ever officially make it, but what I'm striving for is to wake up every day, and the only thing that I'm doing that day is what I want to do, not because I have to do it. If there's a meeting in my schedule, it's because I want to do the meeting, or it's not because I have to do it to have a cadence.
Right. My daughter, who does consulting, she lives in Denver. She has a great line, and I may have said this in a podcast past before. She said, "Don't think of it like you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Think of it as you get to do it."
Yeah.
And when sometimes I will talk to my wife about my schedule and how sometimes it's a lot, and I'll say to her, I got to do this, and she'll look at me and she goes, "But you love it."
Yeah.
And I say to her, "You're right. I love it." And it's the juice. Exactly what you're talking about.
I also think sometimes I don't realize I love it until I do it. So sometimes I'll have anxiety about, doing certain things, and I'm like, you know what? I really love that. That gives me energy. I want to do more of that.
So how do you get the people in that organization? I know that you're an officer in that organization, right?
Like I'm on the board. Yep.
How do you get people to join? who do you talk to? When do you talk to? How do you get people to come to you with their ideas so that they can be in this?
So we're talking about EO entrepreneur.
Yeah, EO.
So
EO.
basically, there's a qualifier select. So there's two different segments. There's EO, which is you have to qualify to be $1 million, over $1 million in revenue,
Okay.
and then you can become a member. And then they have the EOA, which is the Entrepreneur Organization Accelerator Program, which is if you're under $1 million, there's an incubator to help get you above $1 million, and then you graduate to EO.
Wow.
Which EOA is great because it helps these companies that are striving to get there put together their processes to scale to $1 million, and many of them graduate to EO once they hit the $1 million threshold. But yeah, I mean, I would say EO it's a kept secret. I mean, I think that there's not enough people that know about the organization, and how you like most of it comes from referral and word of mouth. Like I've referred 4 or 5 people. But I guess how we get it out of stuff like this is having these podcasts. But they do a little bit of marketing, but I would say most of it is word of mouth through different referrals. But you can just go on to the website, EO Philadelphia, and apply to be a member.
So it's EO and the word Philadelphia spelled out?
Yep.
.org or .com?
I forget.
Try both.
Yeah, try both.
Try
Just Google
both.
it. Just Google the Entrepreneurs Organization.
So what kind of businesses are there?
Every type of business.
Really?
Every type of business. There's no. I mean, I found out that there are businesses that I didn't think were businesses. Like one guy makes screws specifically for trains. One screw for a train does like $8 million in revenue, owns the market on a specific screw for a specific seat on a specific train. So it's like those types of things. It's a very important screw. But like those are the types of businesses that you would never think existed.
So who trained that guy? Just kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah,
It's a play on words.
How do you? And that's the first question: is
right.
how the hell do you get into that?
Right. How do you get into that?
How did you get into that business? And a lot of times it's like passed on to. And there's first generation entrepreneurs. There's people that have acquired companies to get into the that have corporate background. So it's super diverse. Every race, religion, creed, gender, like it's like a super diverse group, and it's been it's a good organization.
Well, it's all over the country, right?
Yeah, all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world. Yeah, they have chapters in nearly every country.
Really?
Yeah, it's grown. It started in Philadelphia, but it's grown globally.
Philadelphia, the city that started a nation.
Yeah, and
That's
started EO.
So they started EO. That is very cool. Well, you gave us one example of a cool company, something that most people wouldn't think about. What kind of other companies can you? I mean, just your painting company is pretty cool.
I mean, so I've recruited, like we talk about competition, right?
Right.
I've recruited like 3 other painters to join EO.
Really?
Part of me thinks like maybe that wasn't a great idea
Right.
because they're growing and maybe we've turned into competitors. But also the other part is like, look, there's plenty of houses to paint.
Right.
But 120 companies, I can just think of the people in my forum, right? I'll just go through the 6 people that are in, that are in my small group. One guy who owns a cybersecurity company. One guy runs 11 tanning salons, who owns tanning salons. The other guy does manufacturing for art supplies and creates these really cool canvases, custom canvases, who's one cool product away from being, $100 million company.
Wow.
So, like another guy builds custom decks, like in the greater Philadelphia area. So, super diverse as far as what we do.
Wow. And then you piggyback with each other. I mean, if you're in a building and painting, and it's a residential, and they say, I want a deck.
Yeah, we can help each other. But part of EO is like, we don't want to have that conflict. So we don't, you do not, it is not soliciting business. You get business from EO, but you're not there. It's not a BNI. It's not hey, let me go there to get business. That's not the case. You can be a sponsor to try to get business, but like, I'm not soliciting any of the people in my forum, because if that guy screws up one of my paint jobs, then it's like it could hurt the relationship.
It's no good. So
So what's
your vision for the future, for you, for your company, and for your
It's great.
Your life?
It's a great question, because since I've started the company, I don't know what it is, but I had this $10 million revenue mark, and I don't know, because it's 8 figures, because 0.01% of businesses get there, and now I'm there, and I'm kind of like, okay, which way are we going from here?
Right.
So I think part of it is what we were talking about earlier, is trying things and failing and figuring out to clarify the vision. But I try to break it down into 3 years, like increments. Like we set a 3-year plan. I can cover where we're going over the next 3 years. But every year changes based on learning experiences. But
Right.
we're going to expand out to the territory, right? We're going to acquire a company, to go through that whole learning process. What is it like to acquire a company?
Are you actually going to do that right now?
Yeah. So we're in the process.
Okay.
Well, we're not in the process of acquiring. We're vetting companies and trying to figure out, what is it like to acquire a company.
Okay, good idea.
But what the future looks like for me personally is just striving to get out of any of the day-to-day responsibilities so that I can be pure visionary of the company and do things like scaling the business and focusing on my ideas and not worrying about any of the day-to-day, 0% of the day-to-day. I don't want to say 0%, but more strategy, more networking, more learning, doing the things that give me energy. That's what I'm striving for. And my goal is to do that. I have a date that I am out of any type of management role within the organization, where I have 0 direct reports by the end of 2027. So
Okay.
I will have 0 direct reports by 2027.
But you'll oversee everyone.
I will oversee the integrator of the company. So we run on EOS, which...
Okay.
So think about the mafia. You have the boss, you have the underboss. Everybody reports to the underboss.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, I oversee everyone, and like my name's on it. If the buck always stops with me, but I don't have to deal with like the day-to-day issues,
Right.
the meeting
Yeah.
cadences, those types of things. So that's what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah. So
it's not. I'm still going to be in the business every day, helping here, helping there, but I'm only helping where I'm the most impactful.
You're working on the business,
On
not
the
in
business,
the business.
purely on the business.
And that's the ultimate goal.
And that's, if I can do that, now I can do that with multiple companies. So, I mean, the ultimate goal is to be a serial entrepreneur, if that's a long story. But if I'm focusing on where I deliver the most value, right, that's what's going to help, because it's my unique ability that I can, finding my unique ability and then applying it is like, that's what's going to scale us.
Yeah. Being a serial entrepreneur, and I've said this before in the podcast, it's a disease. It's a disease, but it's not a disease it's a state of dis-ease.
Yeah.
You're not at ease. You always want to do something that is exciting. It's fun. It builds your energy, as you said earlier. You want to be in things that give you the juice, that give you the energy.
Yep.
And you want to work with people who are like that.
Yep.
You want to have that underboss who gets you.
Yeah.
So that you can do other things, and the underboss will say, "Okay, boss, what are we doing now?
Yeah.
How can I help you now?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which way are we going?
Which
right?
way are we going?
Like, and I have a partner who's co-owner, and it's an amazing relationship that we have, because we're opposites attract. Right. He doesn't want to do a lot of stuff that I want to do. I don't want to do a lot of stuff that he wants to do.
It's perfect.
And it's a perfect relationship, to the point where it's just clarifying, hey, I just need clarity on where we're going. I'll get us there. And that's where I'm like, that's.
And your partner is cool with everything.
What was that?
Your partner
Yeah.
is cool with everything that you want to do.
No,
Like,
but don't get me wrong. It's like a marriage where we we fight it out, and I have to listen to him, and he has to listen
Right.
to me. It's a relationship. We actually have a monthly meeting where we call it Same Page Meeting, where we'll go get dinner, and we'll hash out the issues, because we don't get to talk that much. We're all in the day-to-day. We're in the weeds from time to time. He's doing a lot in the business. I'm doing a lot in the business. So we get together once a month, and we make sure we're on the same page, that we are cool with it,
Yeah.
that he is cool with it, that it is that we are going on the same, that we are rowing in the same direction. Because if the parents are united, the kids
Are great.
are great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If the parents are disjointed, and that's what happened to my previous business partner, parents weren't.
Yeah.
It was toxic. It was a toxic relationship, and all the kids got affected by that.
Yeah, and they see it. It's just
Yeah.
like in a divorce.
It's
the
exactly.
kids hear the arguments.
Two different factions, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
people have to
grow.
choose which parent they want to go with afterwards,
it
and
stinks.
it ended. I mean, it was a great learning experience for me, though. Awesome
Always.
learning experience, and I care about the person still to this day, but it's just a nasty split.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I've had other partners that I've said adios,
Yeah.
adios amoeba. That's what I used to
Yeah.
say.
Hasta la vista.
I'm going my own way, and some of it was not fun. Okay, but people have to understand. It's interesting. I was talking to somebody yesterday, actually, and they were apologizing for something that they said in a group setting prior 2 days before, and I said, you know what? I didn't even remember that,
Yeah.
and I think it was more about you feeling bad, and I get that because people do feel bad. But my advice is wait 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I always do that because in 3 days you're
Yeah.
going to forget it.
Yeah.
And people will forget it unless it's something severe.
Yeah.
If it's something severe, okay, you may hold on to it for a
Yeah.
while. But if it's something minor like that, wait 3 days. It's probably a lot
Yep.
simpler and less toxic
Yeah.
than you think.
And we, I mean, it's a good point, because that's why we have this monthly meetings. A lot of times things will come up on a Monday, and I'll be like, you know what, I didn't like that. And then 3 days later, I'm like, that was not a big deal.
Right.
I'm not even going to bring it up like in the meeting that we had. But like back to the partnership split, which you were talking about, EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, was super impactful for me, because when I was going through that, I just felt like I was the only one in the world that is going through this problem, and I didn't know how to handle it. And then you get in this room and everyone's like, oh, I've been through that. I've been through that twice. I've been through this. This is how I handled it. So that camaraderie of like knowing that other people have been through it, it just makes you feel a lot better that you're not alone in this game that we call entrepreneurship.
Yes. And it's, if you carry, I will give you an example. I had a partner who really screwed me out of money and all kinds of stuff. And he came from another country. I introduced him to all my friends. I took him under my wing, and ultimately he screwed me. And we were at an event years later. I even introduced him to his wife. Years later, he said to me, my wife said that if you didn't kill me when you saw me, I would be lucky. And I said to him, do you think I carried that around with me
Yeah.
for all these years?
Yeah.
Yeah, did it bother me? Yeah, it bothered me. Okay, it bothered me. It stuck with me for a little while.
Yeah.
But if I would have let that play on my head for all these years,
Yep.
you would have been controlling me all those years without you even knowing it.
Yep.
And I wouldn't have been able to move forward and do all the other things I did.
Yeah.
And he almost like said, thank you.
It's interesting that people think that, like, I think it's human nature. It's like you think everyone, it's kind of like selfish that everyone's worried about you, or
Right.
at the end of the day, no one really cares.
Really cares.
Nobody really cares.
It's the
It's like
same
you-
thing. It's like I'm not into hurting you. It's over. I mean, it was 800 years ago.
It's
Forget
like
about
Sonny.
it.
It's like Sonny from Bronx Tale. Nobody cares.
Nobody
Right?
cares.
Nobody cares.
Right. It's like, what are you going to wear to the party? Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Who cares? No. And it's funny because I think a lot of people that are watching or listening right now actually think that. They think, oh, I have to look this way, or I have to look that way, or I have to drive this kind of car or that kind of car. So you're impressing people who don't really care
Yeah.
about you or whatever. And I would always say, if you think that people are going to care about you because of what you drive you have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yep.
they have a problem.
Yep.
It's who are you trying to impress?
I think it's easy to get it. I think for me, it still happens sometimes, but
Of course, it happens to everybody.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
But you recognize it and you say, nobody cares.
Nobody
Right.
really cares.
And I learned that valuably when I was at when I first joined EO, and I started telling my story. And the guy was kind of rude. But he's like, nobody cares. I don't care. And I was like, you know what? Like, you're kind of a, I don't know if I can curse here. You're kind of a dick, but
Right.
But like, you're right. You know, nobody truly does care. I'm telling you something that you probably don't care about, unless
Right.
you've asked me. Why am I telling you this?
Yeah, it's interesting because EO, from what you've explained, is a situation where everybody's in there because they care,
Oh yeah.
right? Because they care. But if you run into somebody and you say, you know, I did this and I can't believe I did. Hey, I'm going to work. I
Yeah.
can't help you with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But you want to get into situations, as you have, and you're helping people, where people really do care.
Yeah.
And they can mentor you and guide you and things like
Yep.
that. And when you find that, it's important.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling.
Yeah, it's your people, right?
It's your
And like, I think when you're at this point, like the people you grew up with and the fun that you had when you were much younger, it's like that's not your life now.
Right.
And your life is this game of entrepreneurship almost. But that's what like I said, it's not a 9 to 5 necessarily. It's just 24/7. And who are you going to talk to? The people that are also in this 24/7 game, because that's at the place that you're at in your life. That's who you can relate to the most.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And if you're an entrepreneur watching this, there's one thing you should know. You are not alone.
Yeah.
There's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of us out there
Yep.
willing to help. Okay? Think about EO or EOA.
Yeah.
I always want to say entrepreneurship and innovation leads to entrepreneurship and more innovation.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like EIEIO.
Yeah. Well,
That
yeah.
would be great.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
the
yeah.
organization was called
Entrepreneur
EIEIO.
and Innovation.
Everybody would remember that, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and innovation, that word, right? Because and tell me if I'm wrong, like, I can look up the definition, but you're taking something else that is there and making it a little bit better, right? Like, that's what innovation is,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And that's what I always try to tell people is, like, there's no new ideas. Take what ideas are out there and tweak it a little bit, like, to make it your own.
Yeah.
And I think that's the true thing is, like, we're all doing something similar, just a little different.
That's
right?
it. That's
So-
it. And you're either an entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it on your own, or you're an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And you're working for somebody to go, as we talked about earlier, hey, but if we do this a little differently, it'll help the company add a product,
Yeah.
grow faster,
Yep.
get more efficient. And that's the other thing. So I would think that EO helps people with that.
Yeah.
And what's the award again? Tell me about that again.
So the Global Student Entrepreneurship Awards, it's a business plan competition. And my goal with my vision, with me being the chair, is to build these relationships with schools like Temple, Penn State, Westchester, and get these students that are driven and hungry, that have an acumen for business and want to be entrepreneurs and have started this business, to expose them to everything that we're talking about, right? If you're a young entrepreneur and you don't know where to go, and you have this business that you're trying to get off the ground, but you don't really know where to start, it's a community of people that need to help you get there. And that's what EO offers, is like this community of other entrepreneurs that all we want to do is help each other, right? And we have different ideas to help each other. But there is like a business plan competition on December 3rd, right? We're going to have this like the ceremony, like a pitch competition, right? And then
Like Shark Tank.
Yeah, like Shark Tank, right? We'll have judges from EO. We'll have
And what do
speakers.
they get if they win?
So there's a couple different prizes that they get in the regionals, right? So I think the valuation comes around $5,000. They'll get a check, but then there's also services that they receive from like marketing companies there. But the valuation is around $5,000. And then they move on to regionals where they go to Punta Cana, which is so the program, the local competition is December 3rd. They get to go to Punta Cana to go all the other regional members, and they'll pitch there. If they win there, they move on to global, which last year it was in Hawaii, right? And they met people from all across, from Thailand, from Singapore, from Italy, so it's like worldwide, right? And then the year before that, it was in South Africa. So
if someone wins the regionals, what do they get?
they get like around $5,000 in value.
Well,
Or no, regionals.
Yeah.
I think it's equate to around like 25,000.
And if they win the
to
global?
50, over 100, like over $100,000. But I would say, take that $100,000 out of it.
Right.
Like that's great. But the relationship. The one relationship you build is worth $1 million.
Correct.
Like, I don't even try to sell the winnings, because the winnings, what's $5,000 to a connection that gets you funding for your business, or a connection that could help consult you? That's so like,
priceless.
I can get to the details of what the award is, but the award, to my opinion, is staying within that network.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it would be good for you to host one of the winners of that competition here, like at a podcast, which would
put me in touch with them.
Yeah,
We'll get them on.
I will.
We'll get them on. You have a Philly person or a Philadelphia regional?
Yeah, Philly.
Person?
A Drexel student though. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was on a board at Drexel.
Okay.
I headed up their dean's board for the School of Public Health for years.
Yeah.
And we're all collegiate here.
Yeah.
Collegial city.
Philadelphia schools are proud.
Yeah.
Right.
Very much so. City 6.
And but yes, this is my first year as chair with GSEA, and I want to kind of continue these relationships with these universities, because I went to Temple, and I know the students that are there, man, like the gritty kids that I was one of them, right? And they need to be exposed to these things that I have been exposed to, and if they're sitting in that classroom, be able to know what is out there, because it took me a while to realize what's out there.
It's interesting because my team here are people I worked with at Kutztown when I taught, at Penn State, and my student from Penn State. But our editor is Alex, was a student at Penn State, my student, and that's how you grow. It's all connections.
Yeah.
It's all connections.
Yep.
Somebody messaged you on Facebook. Somebody sends something to you on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Whatever, and it's like, whoa, I forgot. You can do that? Yeah, I can do that.
Yep.
Let's talk. Things like that. So what you're giving people is priceless.
Yeah,
It's priceless.
There's no value.
And we would love to have a winner on here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And doesn't matter which university they went to.
I
We
got
love
you.
them all. We love
Yeah.
them all. And anybody out there that's watching or listening that may have an idea of someone they'd like to see on Digging for Gold, let us know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to Digging for Gold on Spotify, or don't forget, it's Dan, D-A-N-G, the letter G, the number 4, the letter U, the number 2, Dan G for YouTube, on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Digging for Gold 2. And we'll have some really cool, we have lined up some really cool programs. I hope you're enjoying the show. We got more stuff going.
I just had one more comment about the network. So I think we're talking about you're exposed to all these different things. I think where most people fall short in this, all the resources are there, but they're afraid to ask for help.
Oh yeah.
I am a thief with people's time. If they're offering their time to me, I'll take it because I'm going to learn from that, right? So it's like we can give the network, but you have to have the mentality that if someone's willing to give you the time, you cannot be afraid to ask for it. I've been
Totally
left
agree.
I've been left on red multiple times, but that's fine. But the relationship that I like when I reached out to you,
Right.
it was worth it, right? So here we are. So
Absolutely.
you have to go get it because it's out there and people will give you their time.
And just like that, you're on the show. You're on my council. We're working together. Thank you, Andy Langsam,
Yeah,
for
I had
introducing us.
I reached out to 8 other universities and 3 other Temple professors, by the way, who never got back to me, but
Yeah.
I didn't give up, and
And I put you
here I
in
am.
touch with Penn State,
Yeah,
Temple, and
that one relationship is all you really need.
That's it.
The-
Now, here's my final question for you. How does someone get a hold of you if they're interested in EO, or if they're interested in getting their house or company's offices painted? How
Got
do
it.
they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I'm always looking to add awesome talent like to my company. So we do have internship opportunities, especially within sales and marketing here at Heiler Painting. So you can reach Heiler Painting at heilerpainting.com, but email me personally, tom@heilerpainting.com. Our phone number is 610-818-7920. Through EO, I would just Google and like maybe we can post this link in like the YouTube. But
Absolutely.
if you just Google EO, the first thing is like apply to be a member, or you can refer a member. Because even if you're not interested, if you know someone that could benefit from this, just pass along the information.
And how do they get into EOA?
Same deal.
Same
it's like EOA, but typically people will go and like apply for EO, and then they'll move them over to EOA based on their business qualifications.
Sounds good.
But highly recommend it. If you're below $1 million, I would say that is like super impactful. I mean, everyone I've met that's joined EOA has gone from like 300K to 400K to $1 million 1-2 years.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and then they keep it going. So that's the incubator phase is where it's like super impactful.
Folks, if you're listening or watching this and you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow your business, EO or EOA, get a hold of Tom Heiler.
Yep.
Get a hold of EOA or EO. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And I look forward to. It's great to finally meet you in person, and
Yeah, it's
great
cool.
talking.
It's cool.
Hopefully we do it again.
I hope so. And
Yeah.
you're going to put me in touch with some of those winners.
Yeah.
We'll get them on here.
I will.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Don't forget, follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Spotify. And by the way, audio-wise, we're on all the systems. Okay, Apple, Google, we're on all of them. So just click through and you'll find us. Digging for Gold.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you next time on Digging for Gold.